Better leave it to the professionals.
Blessed by Bundy, blah, blah, blah.
Started off with a bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Ain't poppin' since Web 1. Hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems. Topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, yo, set it up.
Surfing on the web and I'm shooting at 3. I've been goated when I got my G. I'm an alien boy from a different planet, yeah. So I got my drink, I'm riding in the 1920s Model T Ford. Call her Era Lord. Call me Levi playing on the keys, boy. And I'm about to put my gloves on. If I said it, then I meant that. Yeah, I like that one, I'm about to get that. Crash that whip for the drumsticks, whiplash. I'm about to get them all. Are you with that? In a white boat, surrounded by blue. I want one, but I got a cop too. I wanna fly high in the sky, arms out wide, trying to soar from a bird's eye view. I'm on fire, Ricky, Bobby, cracking the pavement, Whitney, Bobby. I'm a Saki bomb, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Bruce Wayne been a dog, and I keep it 101, cause I'm feeling kinda spotty. You sipping on some rock, and I'm sipping on octane. The only thing around my neck is the
Started off with a
blockchain.
bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Ain't poppin' since Web 1. Hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems. Topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
NFT, Twitter, blockchain. Seeing with the ghosts and we ballin' like the Brown James. Crypto. We can make a trade, get the memo. Reviews not falling for the FOMO. Listening to Coffee with Captain. You know we worldwide, they loco. I ain't never gonna stop rapping. Orlando, yeah, we working magic. We rocking Ethereum NFTs. I just went and caught me a half base. Man, I gotta shout out
Started
the
off with a
boy.
bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Ain't poppin' since Web 1. Hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems. Topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
Breaking the mood to choose one, but they got knowledge to move, son. I'm shocking in shades with my brother in suits. Yeah, them blues is coming. Even though it's hard to pick, eeny, mighty, mo, soda on the mix, no biting lips, it's time to go. Index number 1, no thumbs up, you gotta scroll. Looking at the ghost in studio, it's time to go. Had a helmet on by myself until I met a mask that wanted to have a face off. So had to bring my chainsaw, full tank of gas in the ride with my brakes off. I'm A1, but a different kind of steak sauce.
Welcome to Coffee with Captain, powered by ApeChain, where we dive into all things crypto, NFTs, Web3, and cutting-edge technology. Remember, nothing here is financial advice. Early-stage tech can be exceptionally volatile and risky. So grab your coffee and join Cap and Steve for today's conversation.
Welcome to the future.
Welcome to Coffee with Captain, GM. Thanks so much for joining us here. And he done so do us a favor, drops the GM in the chat down below, then head up top, smash that like, repost, and bookmark on today's space. We greatly appreciate it. It does warm up the algo and does us a real solid. What doesn't do us a solid is talking about ETH dipping to 3,400 in the chat. Please stop that. Get that out of here, dude. I just bought some art, and I'm going to say fuck you higher. I'm not cussing. It's just the name of art, so it is allowed and proper on the show today. As always, I'm Captain Jimmo, co-host Steve. Never any financial advice in the show. Crypto is risky, NFTs are risky, meme coins exceptionally risky. Go to 0 to moment. So please don't put any money you can't afford to lose. No, Steve and I hold tokens we talk about from time to time here on the show. We are not financial advisors. Certainly not today, because I'm going to be on one. So I'm warning you, don't follow me into any trades. I'm going to risk it all this week. So please don't follow us for financial advice. Just join us for some fun, some information, education along the way. GM Steve, how you doing, sir?
GM doing well. By the way, Mel all the way back in the chat. I literally was on the DJ handle getting things fired up as usual in the morning, getting all the likes and the retweets. DJ handle may be getting a little rebrand here pretty soon. Wait and keep an eye on that. But I just go to do it, and before I've even had the chance to retweet the space, Mel has GM'd like the second it starts. So she's quick on the trigger. So shout out Mel. We Von Fronten, Mesh, Machiavelli, all our friends over in the various chats. Love seeing you out there, Thomas. Mel still remains the queen of the first GM as it comes through.
I wonder if Bruce Wayne does this. I think Bundy does. Bundy's aware. Bundy's another artist on that tune. We have the best opening song in crypto and Web3. Like, you can't convince me otherwise. It wasn't designed for the show. It wasn't created for the show. We just get a shout out, and so we love it. And yeah, it's classic. You can actually purchase that NFT Speaking of purchasing NFTs, I'll flash the one I bought. There's like 10 minutes left, 9 minutes and 36 seconds left in the claim. If anyone has collected any of the editions from Guido, an artist in the space, there's a burn to redeem running for about 9 more minutes, and it spoke to me this morning, Steve. So I just picked up this fine piece of art. Might print it and get it framed for the background.
Where is your where is it? So I think I know who that is and have some art from said human, but like where is, I don't even know. I'm probably not going to do burn and do a claim, but where am I going?
So if you go to Guido, I think if you just like go to OpenSea and type in editions and times Guido, it's you've definitely it's all these. You've definitely seen them before. This is probably the Silicon Kiss is a popular one. Any of these editions you can burn for. I didn't realize doing a weekly release. So any of these editions you can burn for the weekly drop. I didn't know it was a weekly drop till this morning. Said hello in my GM chat, and we just went a little back and forth. Like, yeah, it's good time to buy some art. And I'm not even kidding. Like I am on this mode, so anytime I can GM with a fuck you higher pick, it speaks to me.
Yeah, it's an interesting morning for sure.
I am, by the way, BT Dwayne, Von Frunten, Wealth Creator, and Green Edge. You are legends. Greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, seeing it is chart season, meaning it is the time, and I don't mean the typical crypto chart. It is chart season where people point to a sentiment cycle chart.
With the one I tweeted this morning.
It's not just you. So I got in that one of my replies a bunch of times. The fear and greed is really popular when people say we're here and thinks that it's all over, all beginning.
I'm just counter trading CT. I think this is the easiest week. If we actually get rate cuts, if not, I'm cooked. But if we get rate cuts, I think this is the easiest week to trade we've had this bull. Just to counter trade crypto Twitter, and they're like thinking the cycle's over. Like are we going to go lower if we don't get rate cuts? Yes, but I think we're so far from over. I could be very, very wrong, and I'm okay with being wrong. I'm just not. I'm going to trust my gut, and I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, Steve. So it's going to be I don't really sweat markets. I'm not a big trader. This week, I'm going to be trading this Jackson Hole. I can't believe freaking Jackson Hole and Powell is the thing I am most cognizant of in my trading this week. But you got to be, I guess. I think it's a bear trap. I do. I think rates were priced in. I think now people are freaking out and thinking, oh, we might not get rate cuts. I still think we get rate cuts. I'm a betting man, and CME, Polymarket, everything still says like 70 to 80% chance of rate cuts in September. That's good enough for me. If it goes to like 40% today or tomorrow, then I won't open up longs Friday morning. But right now, I'm not even kidding. I think I'm going to ratchet up the levers as far as they go, and either write it to zero and we start over, or we have a good trade.
Okay, so I think Easy actually has this right. So I'm playing it a little differently than you. I don't know if I'm going to.
Easy said my words way better. Like I'm basically following Easy into this. Like
but he's not doing it beforehand. He's waiting for the news, basically.
Same.
Okay, I thought you were saying you're going to rip it and then be like, we'll see what happens Friday.
If before Friday, if CME and Polymarket says there's only a 40% chance of rate cuts in September, then I'm backing off. But if we go into there and those numbers don't change, I'm getting ready to shove. But yeah, we'll pull up Easy straight, because he said it much more eloquently than myself. But yeah, I agreed in the war room yesterday. I was like, spot on. I'm doing the same thing. And yeah, I just we're getting too serious too quick. I think we had some cold open material we should probably cover though. Not the animal sunbird story. That's for another day. New field.
I was going to say, are we starting with junk science today? We're going to kick junk science out the gate.
Real science did something this morning that I've been told 99% of people on this planet Earth cannot do. Any guesses?
You bought ETH right now?
Oh, you know what I'm talking about, I think.
No, I don't.
What do I do every morning?
You go to the gym.
And what can't 99% of the people do that I might do on a chest and back day at the gym?
Talk to women who are 6'1".
Anyone can do that. You need help doing that. Hit me with a DM afterwards. I'll give you a little.
What did you do? What do you mean that 90% of people can't do that? I'm not. That's the part I'm not.
I have very long arms, so it's not something that I don't max out. I I mean, I lift heavy things every day, but I'm not going for PRs every day. I hit a PR on an incline something this morning. Giving me as many hints as I
On
can.
incline bench?
Yeah. So what can 99% of the people in the world do on an?
You double plated on inside incline bench?
5 times.
135 on the incline bench. I haven't done that in years.
225.
Oh, 225.
225. I've been told 99% of the people in the world cannot bench 225. It's not something I do regularly. I don't rep it out regularly. I just feel a little extra pep this morning, and
225 on incline bench is crazy work. I mean, like I was like,
felt good.
I was at like when I was like 100
reps. Like I've done it a couple times before. I don't max out on even the regular bench to do 225, and I was just feeling a little good. I did a few sets. I'm like, I'm going to throw the other plate on there, and actually I didn't even throw 2 plates on. Or 4 plates on. I started with my 135 warm up, and then went to 185. Like this was easy today, and I added 20 on each side, so I had a 45, 25, and 2 10s on each side, and which if you're not a gym that adds up to 225 with a 45-pound bar. And yeah, it was pretty surprisingly smooth. I think I've gotten stronger without realizing it, so I feel good about it.
Yeah, good on you, man.
This is the real cold open story though.
I'm very weak. I've lifted with my son the past few days, and we've done our thing, in my basement gym. But like, yeah, I mean, I'm probably like, I don't think I ever did more than 185 on an incline bench. And that was when I was, I don't know. I bet
you could hit, like, if you got after it. I bet you could hit 225 on a regular bench for sure.
See, I'm not a bencher. I've never have been. I probably highest I ever did on a couple reps on a regular bench is like 245, and that was when I was. I was also doing it like
99% of the world cannot do that apparently.
And I was doing that at like 170 pounds, like too. So it's like
I'm like 165 right now. So for me, throwing that up on an incline is feeling good, man.
I wish I had gotten to a traditional.
Like 45 years old and hitting PRs. Like if people can't tell you can't get in shape order in your life, fuck you higher.
I wish I had gone to the gym more and actually tried traditional stuff when I was really in my CrossFit mode, because I was more of a lifter in my 20s, early 20s, but in my late 20s, early 30s, I was hella strong when I was doing CrossFit. I mean, that's when I was like deadlifting like 400 plus pounds type stuff at like, again, 167 was my weight. I said 170 because I thought it would be weird because we're going down exact. I almost held 168, like it was like 166 to 168 consistently. And I haven't really looked at stuff. 325 squats, solid, Von Frunten. I want to say 305 might have been as high as I went.
My squat was my biggest. I don't even squat anymore. It's just I don't want to fuck up my back. And when I was a lunatic in high school, I've shared this story before, but going into between my junior and senior year, I was working out like I am now, but I was a crazy man fueled by creatine, Rip Fuel, and androstenedione. And I was locked in, and I went from like 155 soaking wet to 185 shredded. And I was the first person ever, like above the linemen's and everyone. I was a tight end in strong safety. I was the first person ever to squat 500 pounds in high school in our weight room. And I wouldn't even squat 185 now. Like I don't, but yeah, that was I did some powerlifting stuff. Bench was always my weakest. The bench, deadlift, and squat. This was also, I've shared my first mentors, my coach, my junior and senior year. First time I ever saw him, first time I ever met him, walking into the weight room, he's in there and he's throwing up 315 like he's nothing. This is a guy, he played football with Robert Smith. Robert Smith was the best man in his wedding and vice versa. And I was just like, I'd never seen that before. Like I went to a country school and just like someone repping 315, which is 3 plates on each side. And he got us into powerlifting. We'd never done that before. He got us into 7-on-7 football. We'd never did that before. And at the time, I just thought it was football and lifting, and not realizing that the reason I threw up 225 this morning is directly tied to this mentor I had in my life at the age of 18. It's just like, it's incredible the impact people can have on individuals' lives in perpetuity by instilling success principles and just that whatever it takes mentality. And yeah, he was a beast. And yeah, that's the only reason I squatted 500 pounds in high school, was because I had someone that just pushed me harder than anyone's ever pushed me in my life.
Yeah, it's like then when you watch those David Goggins videos and you realize he's just a different type of human. Like I watch him sometimes.
Yeah, he was like a David Goggins. Like truly, he was that kind of person. And I'll never forget at halftime one game, he ripped off his polo. Like Hulk Hogan ripped a polo, not a t-shirt, a freaking polo, ripped it off his chest because he was so, and we came out and just dominated the second half. Like I have chills thinking about this moment, like core memories. He was incredible.
Yeah, man, it's stuff like that. I've never.
This is exactly right. This is the same reason I'll be opening 100 longs on Friday, because I also don't care if I lose. We'll get up and do it again.
I mean, I think it's just like, yeah, you get up off the mat and you do it again. And like, look, I've never been I've never really had like an inspiring coach. Never really had an inspiring teacher outside of maybe one, but like never really had that position. I've sort of always been a little bit self-directed. So, yeah, it's interesting when you when you see those things and how one human can affect you in that way. But I don't know that I'll ever be like,
I need to call him. I need to tell him, because he doesn't know this. He like, maybe he knows this. I'm sure he like deep down, he knows the impact he had on all of us. He has no idea I talk about him on a semi-regular basis. He has no idea I view him as like, I need to, before life gets, life is fleeting. I need to let him know how much he means to me. I'm sure I've done it, but not to the degree that I should.
Yeah. Put it on the agenda. Just be like, make the call or send the text. Cause
I need to do that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Especially when I realize it was just reminded that we don't have forever here, man.
You know me, man. I'm big on that shit. I do that shit regularly, and people might think it's corny at the time or kind of say it's silly, but, it's how I live my life.
Speaking, since we're on like the late 1900s, and we'll get out of cold open here, I promise. It is kind of a slower news-ish day, so we're going to go a little extra long on the cold open material this morning. Really important question coming up next. This is for everyone who grew up in the late 1900s, early 2000s. Kelly Kapowski's is eating carrot cake on Instagram Reels with no clothes on. And it brings the question. One of the Barstool guys says, "Who's the Mount Rushmore?" I mean, the words he used was, it was these four women as when he was a younger man or younger boy, that they basically confirmed that he wasn't gay. I actually shared some of the same. My top three I think are pretty locked in. Kelly Kapowski, Jennifer Aniston, Kathy Ireland. I'm unsure of number 4 on my.
Yeah, see, you're older than me, so that's why it's like that gay age gap makes a difference. Because
Joey threw out Christy Brinkley. I'm like, man, how old are you, brother?
Yeah, because I'm probably more sliding towards like the
Topanga. Yeah,
Topanga was Kelly Kapowski. Jennifer Love Hewitt.
It was the 1 minute guy who did the bit. I'll see if I can find the post.
AFC, Kevin Clancy. Yeah,
he went Topanga, and then someone from Charles in Charge. I didn't even know. Like, I didn't understand. His was like
Alyssa Milano, was it?
No, he went older and younger than I. So I didn't understand, like, his range didn't make sense. But
I mean, like
Shannon Elizabeth from just simply from American Pie.
Pass my. Like, see, like if you're looking at that exact tight range, not past my, but like if you're looking at the tight range we're talking about in that like formative sort of middle school years, it's like Kelly Kapowski, Topanga. I don't know. Like I think Alicia Silverstone had a moment.
Yeah, that was his other one, Alicia Silverstone. Yeah.
Britney Spears had a moment. Carmen Electra had a moment. Like there are people who had a moment. So I don't know. Like Denise Richards was hot in the streets for a while.
Richards was hot in the streets.
So there's like
another one. She would be in the running. I forgot about Denise Richards. So you just said that, but yeah, she was definitely a crush.
I mean, Jennifer Love Hewitt had a pretty big run there for a while. So I don't know.
Chat, let us know, who is your Mount Rushmore, could be male or female, of your first crushes, your not childhood, but like your teenage crushes. Who were your teenage crushes?
I mean, Selma Hayek, and she's still running Pure. So I think like I don't know. There's a lot to be thrown out there.
I was struggling for 4. Now I think I need like 8 spots on the Mount Rushmore.
I was going to say, like, I could go all day just because you think about those years when you're watching things, and now that we're allowed to say stuff like this again and actually have a conversation and acknowledge that
we've done this in 2021. Like, Coffee with Captain doesn't make it to 100 episodes. Today, by the way, episode 969.
Yeah, it's just funny because like back in the day,
Can't even get a giggle out of the 969 joke from you.
It's just funny to me because like I think like 5 years ago, if we had this conversation, you're like, you're not allowed to acknowledge that people are attractive. Like that's not okay. Like women, men, whoever. Like I'm fine being like, yes, that person is a good looking person. Like it's okay to say that. But I
Christina Applegate, also another good call.
Never was my bag. It was just Married with Children was cool, but it was like, again, I think there's an age gap where I think this is so age specific. It's sort of like having a tight range and a liquidity pool. It's like there's a point when it goes one way or the other real
Mel
quick.
says Johnny Knoxville and Matthew McConaughey. Matthew McConaughey in
Who said this?
Mel says Johnny Knoxville, which is funny from her.
It's a great
and then
call.
Matthew McConaughey. Matthew McConaughey in Dazed and Confused.
Johnny Knoxville is like the most Mel call of all time. I love that.
That's funny. It's so fitting for Mel. And
Yeah.
I mean, like with an endearing comment.
Because Mel going Johnny Knoxville and Matthew McConaughey over like Justin Timberlake and Nick Carter, it's like the perfect call, right? It's like there's two types of women in that age range where you ask my wife and you're gonna get like people from boy bands and some actors, and you get us, other people are gonna give you like the Johnny Knoxville and Matthew McConaughey's of the world. So
I think with the flex. Dated Emmanuel, I don't know how to pronounce that name, Vaguier for a bit from 2.5 Men.
Oh, okay.
I've never dated any. Actually, I have dated an NFL cheerleader, Steve. Not dated, but whatever.
I thought he was gonna go. I thought he was gonna go Emmanuel, from Entourage, Sloan. Hey, E, tell Sloan I say what's up. Well, who was that? Was it Seth Green in that? It's like, do you remember that? Do you watch Entourage? Were you an Entourage guy? He's like, tell Sloan what's up for me or whatever. He's like,
that's
what the hell,
Seth?
That's
actually one that I wouldn't mind going back and rewatching the series.
I bet it's got some cringe moments, but I'd still love to watch it.
I think it probably holds up. I think it holds up.
Yeah. All timer.
Pam Anderson, yeah, sure. Fine, but was never like a.
It's a chalky pick though. It's a chalky pick. It's a chalky pick. But yeah, but I think like, Pam Anderson's a lot of people's 1-1, but probably again, I am 42, so you probably got to go into the 47-48 range for that one because, like, I don't know. It was just, but anyway,
Paris Hilton never did it for me.
Never for me either. Von Frutten's trying to go Amy Jo Johnson over here. Not my bag. Power Rangers were past my time. I did see a funny Instagram post though.
Power Rangers Halloween outfit.
What's that?
Never share my Power Rangers Halloween outfit.
No, I didn't know you were a Power Ranger guy.
Not a big Power Ranger guy, but it was a good outfit.
I mean, it was past my time, but it was kind of funny because, oh yeah, mesh with the Lloyd jokes. Back when the USA women's soccer was doing well, I used to cook on X on my first account with like Lloyd for Carly Lloyd and Ari yelling Lloyd. Oh man, I would share that with like a quick GIF up and we get the people going. But I did see a funny thing. Amy Jo Johnson was at a Comic-Con who played the Pink Ranger. Saw someone dressed as the Pink Ranger, asked to take a picture with her. The person taking with the picture had no idea she was Amy Jo Johnson. Like, you are dressed up as me, and she didn't know. So thought that was kind of a funny one. But yeah, man, we'll do this for like 2 more minutes just because Joey Vowels, I think you don't get a lot. Like, we're sitting here talking liquidity pools. We talk about the market. Joey Vowels is like, I'm hanging out. We're like, hey, we're talking about 90s women. And Joey Vowels is like, got to jump up here. So we'll let Joey be horny for a minute. And then we'll go to, we'll get to the market in some ways here. GM Joey.
Yeah, guys. So I think there's 2 conversations, right? So there's like the girls that were in your age range in the like 90s, and then like the women that were older. Right. So like when I would watch like DJ Tanner in Full House, she was like my age. And I was like, I would like to date DJ Tanner because she's like my age. Right.
My cousin had a big
or like
DJ Tanner. Never did it for me.
I was always more of a Stephanie Tanner myself, but she was my age. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Right. So like, and then there was like the Ashley Banks from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, like my age. Right. And then you would look at like some of the like the older women, right, that were out of our age range that, you'd have posters on your wall of like of the Christy Brinkley's, the Cindy Crawfords, the Kathy Ireland. So I think there's like the Topangas. A lot of guys in our age bracket like Topanga because she was our age, right? Like she was in our mind, she was attainable because we were the same age, right? So I think there's 2 kinds of Mount Rushmores when you look at like the 90s women, which are the ones that we dreamt about and the ones we thought we had a chance with.
Well, I mean, I don't even think to be clear, I never thought I had a chance with any of these women, but Topanga was the most relatable to me because I'm a nerd. I was a nerd. That has not changed over time. And I was like, oh, nerdy chick for the win. So I think Topanga probably spoke to me that way for that reason.
Red Ranger on the screen here.
Wow, you really sent it. Oh, Real quick before we jump out of cold open, you want an awesome dad story? Get a call from my kid the other day. She's on her way back from cooking with her friend. And her friend go to cooking every week. There is some Comic-Con like thing that's coming to town like next March. Like they're planning way in advance, but they want to get tickets. They want to get the early bird tickets. They need a chaperone of some sort to go to this thing. They called me, not just to ask me to go, but said, would you be willing to dress up in our theme with us? Hell yes, I would. Are you kidding me? Say no more. My kids are not only not embarrassed that I'm going to go to this thing with them, but the, boys, girls, mix of the whole crew is going to dress up. And they're like, do you want to dress up in the theme? I was like, I don't care what it is. They got a dog in the crew. I'm dressing up as the dog. You name it, I'm in. I will do whatever it is you want. So my kids, 13 years old, a group of 13-year-old kids were like, we need a dad to chaperone. My daughter's dad came to mind as the one to chaperone and was like, and I bet you we can get him in the crew. I'm rolling around in a dress-up crew. I'm stoked.
People have been sleeping on Diablito. What a stud this guy was. Sheesh.
Wait, Diablito dated. Who is this? See, I don't even know who this is.
I don't know how to pronounce the name. Diablito, you got to help us. Anyone knows how to pronounce it?
What's she from? I'm not. Look, I mean, respect to Diablito. I didn't know. I was not familiar with your game.
Manuel, she's from 2.5 Men. Emmanuel Vaguier. Also, I think so. Smokey J says Meg Ryan, Kelly Kapowski, Alicia Silverstone, Tori Spelling. Tori Spelling was never it for me, but Meg Ryan. I have a Meg Ryan story someday. I can't. That's probably an off the air story, but it's definitely an off the air story. But I do have a Meg Ryan story. Halle Berry, OC says Halle Berry, Lisa Turtle, Hillary Banks. Stacey Dash. I don't know who Stacey Dash is, but Halle Berry might be number 4.
Halle Berry.
Yeah, Stacey Dash was in Clueless.
Halle Berry is just not. She just
Shaker Heights, Ohio. Shaker Heights, Ohio. Halle Berry.
This is what happens when you buy provocative art.
What about Baby and Penny from Dirty Dancing?
No, I don't even know who that is. I've never seen Dirty Dancing. Again, like Joey's just got.
Oh my God, you have to watch it this
Dirty
weekend.
Dancing.
Guys,
Really?
You're both like 5 years older than me. I don't know what to say. Like it's just I'm like a half a decade makes a difference.
A sister-in-law who's many years younger than you, and Dirty Dancing, she's probably seen it 400 times. Her favorite movie of all time. So I don't think age is the excuse there.
Dirty Dancing is such a good movie. Yeah, you gotta watch Dirty Dancing. It's like an all-time classic.
You would like knowing you. I think you would actually love Dirty Dancing. It still holds up. I think you and your wife would love Dirty Dancing. Is my take.
I'll drop a nobody puts baby in a corner line sometimes. Don't know what it means. I think her dad was from Law and Order.
I'm actually in shock. Like there's a lot of movies I would like. Cool, that's no big deal. You got to watch Dirty Dancing. It is absolute classic, and yeah, you got to watch it.
Have you seen the original Roadhouse?
Yeah, dude, Joey, come on. Did you just compare Dirty Dancing to Roadhouse?
I'd put Dirty Dancing.
Those movies are only.
But Roadhouse is like a dude movie. Of course, I've seen it.
Yeah, but those movies are only 2 years apart. You act like Dirty Dancing's so old.
But Dirty Dancing is different than Roadhouse.
This
is a horrible comparison. You're like, that's like being like, but have you seen Rocky 4? Well, how haven't you seen Dirty Dancing? Dude movies. Have you seen Best of the Best 2? Have you seen Dirty Dancing? Dude movies.
I mean, Dirty Dancing was I don't know. I remember watching it literally in elementary school, watching Dirty Dancing because it was so popular because Patrick Swayze was like everywhere.
I mean, you're talking about.
I didn't look at it like
one of these movies. The answer to everything is dancing in the club underneath the country club. The other answer in the movies, in Roadhouse, the answer is a roundhouse kick. I think one of those is a little bit more of a dude movie than the other, and so I'm into it. So, like, look, I mean, I've said many times, and I know people talked about doing it in DGen. I want to do it locally. I want to get my kids into it. I want to start getting a dude movie night going at some point where it's like we're gonna rip The Rock, Con Air, Best of the Best 2, anything with Steven Seagal, Hard Target Works, Under Siege. They're all the same movies. Like there was a period of time when dude movies rocked.
I'm sorry. War Room has me. I have to take a break. War Room has me. Like I'm gonna start tearing up from laughing. You guys are incredible. If you enjoy like this sort of humor, you're missing out if you're on the War Room.
Yeah,
this is probably not funny for many people, but
yeah, I'm gonna check back on the War Room later. We need to get back on the tracks. We have crypto to talk about, Cap. And look, I mean, it is a weird in between moment in crypto right now where I think we're sort of like in this like limbo at the moment. I never thought that we were going to be largely dependent on a bunch of politicians and rich people at one of the richest places you can visit in Jackson Hole making some comments away from what the crypto market's going to do. Like, this is what we have become. We are waiting on a Federal Reserve chair. Like, we're waiting on the people who control the money in Washington to tell us what to do with our crypto in the rich person place in Jackson Hole. So this is where we're at in crypto. We're in limbo. For those who aren't paying attention to the market, you see a lot of red numbers. The reason why you're seeing red numbers, if you haven't been paying attention, I'm sure a lot of people have, but just so you know, there are dips that kept dipping. So we've been ripping for the past, I don't know, few weeks. The reason we've been ripping is people are expecting rate cuts. If you're not familiar with rate cuts are, it basically makes money cheaper. So it makes money cheaper to borrow. It isn't good for inflation. Now, the CPI numbers came out. The numbers from the government came out. Inflation is not in a good spot right now. Inflation is up. The US dollar is down. And so generally, this is not an environment where you want to cut rates, because when you cut rates, prices go up, which further exacerbates inflation. So the suspicion is, in this Jackson Hole meeting, the guy, Jerome Powell, who sort of holds the cards along with his team and his crew to cut rates and to ultimately sort of make the decision of whether we are cutting rates and money becomes cheaper and more people are risk on or not. He is making comments and having a speech this Friday at Jackson Hole, where a bunch of people, rich people, get together to discuss the future of money in America at this point. A lot of crypto people are there. There's some crypto summits going on as well. I know the folks from Token Relations are out there. But basically, we're at this impasse where for the next 2 to 3 days, we are chopping with money down because people saw the numbers. They feel as though we're not going to. Trump is lashing out online. I don't know if you saw this, but he's like, there's no inflation. I don't know. He's talking. You can't make inflation go away just because you say so. Like, there is inflation. Tweeting it doesn't change that. And so people are suspicious that we will not get rate cuts in September. Still probably will get them in October, a lot of people think, but won't get them in September. So the numbers are going down. If we don't get, there's called hawkish and dovish comments. Hawkish meaning we're not going to cut rates. Dovish meaning we are going to cut rates. If we hear dovish sentiment on Friday, you can expect markets to go up. If you hear hawkish sentiment on Friday, you can expect markets to go down. What Cap is talking about with his leverage is he's saying that, and this is what Easy said, so I think it's probably a good way to bring in Easy's comments, is Easy was saying basically, you don't even have to front run this trade. What you can do is wait to see what's said, and as soon as you see what's said or see the comments, if we get dovish sentiment, numbers are going to rip for a little bit, giga rip, most likely, or at least that's his theory, so you can go longs once you hear it. If you see hawkish sentiment, well then you can short, and we can expect pullbacks. So at the moment, we're basically in this holding pattern in crypto while we're waiting for, again, the government at a rich person's vacation destination to tell us what our markets are going to do. So Cap, that's sort of my summary of where we're at. I know you're pulling up some data. Talk me through now based on that for maybe those who aren't as plugged in, where your head is at, what you're thinking, how you're playing this. I can talk about some moves I made yesterday personally, but curious where you're at.
I just think this is a very much so an overreaction. 80% is insane. Like, it's extremely probable. So when, like what you just described, that's like the consensus on crypto Twitter is like, oh, nope, rate cuts aren't happening now. It's like, what are you talking about? Rate cuts are still extremely likely to happen. CME FedWatch has an insane track record on getting this stuff right. If you look at Polymarket, it's still over 70% chance of happening as well. Like, the data is saying it's still extremely likely that we get rate cuts in September. It's just not 90+% like it was a few weeks ago, which is all but guaranteed. So it's like this recent sell-off, I do believe, is just the market believing, okay, it's not a guarantee that rate cuts happen in September, because over 90%, they're feeling like, oh, it's a guarantee. So I believe those rate cuts to some degree were already priced into this run up. So I think this pullback is actually good, because if we do in fact get cuts like I expect to happen, then I think we could go parabolic as opposed to a sell the news type event. So I'll pull up Easy's post here next. But yeah, it's just like, I don't have the exact history, but I think if you go back and look at their track record for getting rate cuts or no rate cuts correct, maybe it's not 100%, but when they have 80+%, I'm going to guess it's probably damn near close to 100% accuracy. So I'm not that smart. I don't understand macro. I don't understand the Fed and when they cut rates and when they don't. I agree with you that within in PPI and inflation hotter than expected, it's maybe less likely to happen. And that's what pulled it from 90+% to 82%. If this number was 40%, yeah, then I would understand it. And I'd say, okay, we're not getting rate cuts, but maybe they're wrong. I'm just following those two numbers pretty closely, as well as, Tom Lee. Tom Lee called the dip almost to a T, or Tom Lee's quant rather called the dip to almost to a T.
Yeah, I think that's where we are. I think that's where we're at. It's like you have two schools of thought. Here's my school of thought, and this is like the boring thing because I'm playing it a little different than you. Like I'm less risk on, which is hilarious because to the normal human being, I am a crazy, risky, insane person for like the DeFi plays, for the crypto I hold, for the JPEGs I hold. In this space, I'm relatively conservative. I personally am of the opinion that I don't think this is the end. I don't think this is the end of the bull market. I don't think this is the end of, crypto running. I don't think we are still in a spot where we've had more positive catalysts than ever.
Yep.
Ever.
I agree. Wholeheartedly.
I'm not saying that this Friday we're going to shoot up. Maybe we'll get some hawkish comments and we'll go further down. What I am saying is that for me personally, I'm playing positions where I'm earning yield. I'm buying dips as I go down, just in case it is the bottom. I'm not spending my whole stack on everything as it goes down. And I'm looking for places where I am comfortable putting my money to sit and park that I don't need so I can look. I sold some crypto to pay a bill the other day when it was a little higher, which is good because that was nice. I had to pay some taxes. But yeah, man, like I think like in the grand scheme of markets, it's like we're so like this happens coming out of, I feel like, any bear market. We have so much PTSD from the bear that any dip, it's over.
Yep.
And it's like it might not be over, but it also might not be gig ascending. Like I talked about this with the REC token. It's like the REC token has pulled back a lot. Well, guess what? It made new all-time highs for like, I don't know, a week and a half straight. It was like every day was a new all-time high. That's not how markets work. Markets have periods of pullback. Like look at a chart. It goes up, it goes down a little bit. It goes up a little more. Sometimes it goes down a little more and then down a little more. Like, but I think to me personally,
it's still up, by the way, REC's still up 57% on the month. So yes, it's pulled back. It's down 20% on the week. A lot of stuff's pulled back. It's still $390 million fully diluted market cap. Like,
and let me let you get to this because I'm going to pull up a chart here in a second, just so people have some context to this because I think it's probably important to give some level of context. But you go ahead and get to this, then I'm going to pull up a chart to give people some important context.
This is just Tom Lee's post that I referenced. His quant called ETH dipping to 4,075 to 4,150. Almost hit it to a T. Also said Bitcoin would basically go to 112, and then we rise. And maybe he doesn't get the rise part right, but I don't know what to say. Like I have more faith, and I know he's biased, but I have more faith in Tom Lee's quant than I do, random crypto Twitter personality that is freaking out because
and is getting Guido yaps and engagement farming off talking about this because when you say the market is all dead, like Clemente is really good at this. Like I've noticed, and by the way, like I love Clemente, so this is not a shot. Actually, I think he's one of the. I mean, we talked many times on here. Not that I have to like quantify this, but we constantly talk about how he's like one of our favorite creators on this space. We called it before he like really, really blew up because he's so smart and funny. He puts out things where he's like, all of CT Twitter said this, now they're saying this. And like, he's good at getting, guess what? He's getting the replies. He's getting the yaps. He's like, he's very, very good at getting those opinions out there. a lot of people on crypto Twitter are good because when you put out an opinion that it's over, it's one of the reasons why Easy is one of keys on. You want to talk about I'd have to really think about it, but I think Easy's on my Mount Rushmore of creators in Web3 because he is a guy who does an engagement farm and honestly talks about things he's seeing and what he's thinking. Like, he doesn't just say it's over, it's coming, it's going. He talks about what he does on a daily basis. He gives sort of like trade diary. So,
real quick, and I'll hand you the screen share because I know you want to share something as well. This is just the post I was referencing. I did pin it up top. This is what, like I said, I'm not just glazing him, but my read is the same. Market sell-off in preparation for Jackson Hole Friday. Markets essentially pricing in hawkish tone in the most basic form of verbiage. Markets think rate cuts are no longer a guarantee for September. Powell speaks Friday. If he hints at all at no rate cuts, market is front-running the move, thus the sell-off. If Powell comes in soft and leans that rate cuts are likely, we turbo rip. If there are no rate cuts in September, however, it will be an ugly 4 to 6 weeks until we have clarity for October potential cuts. Market hates uncertainty, and we're seeing that in price action right now. I think in times of uncertainty is when you can hit wins in the market. If everyone
read his next tweet too. If you read his next tweet too, he has a second part of that thread, which I think is really good and speaks to you. So keep going on your point, but I want to make sure you got this up too.
In trading thoughts, the real move right now is to sit flat. No trade is a trade. If you've been long, hold them. It's exactly what I'm doing. If you're over leveraged, cut to cash and either enter shorts on hawkish tones or longs on dovish tones Friday. It's exactly what I'm doing. If it is short, I will close everything, book the L, and immediately flip to shorts. Otherwise, it goes on to say, you won't catch the early move, but there will be way more meat on the bone in either direction once the market has clarity. So you can be late to the party and still catch the move here. Had I not opened up my long last week, I'm not trading right now, but it's open. So I'm not booking the L right now because in 2 days, the whole thing could turn right back around. And I don't think it goes much worse before then is basically the point. So again, I agree wholeheartedly with the take, and I think it's sage advice.
Yeah, let's do this. I see Joey is out in the wild. And I want to get him on here. So Joey, I saw your hand up. Go ahead and get back in here.
I feel like this is the exact conversation we had a few months ago when Bitcoin ripped past 100K and then dipped back down to like 85K. And everybody was like, or I think it was even lower. It might have been like 80K. And everybody was like, it's over. You missed it. Are we ever going to get to 100K again? This was your chance, whatever. Like, I feel like this is like a normal 30 to 60 day cycle on crypto Twitter where, we have this pump and then a pullback and everybody starts proclaiming this is the end. It's like, and then again, if you look at the Bitcoin or ETH or any of their charts, instead of looking at a 5-minute or a 1 hour chart or a 1 day chart, to Cap's point, you look at a 30-day or you look at a 90-day, it's all still moving up. Like, I don't know why. And I agree with you, Steve. It's probably the for the likes, but it's like, how many times do we need to do this?
I think an important thing to say on this too is like, look, let me ask you this. I'm going to ask Joey, and I'm asking you. I'm trusting his honor system. Don't look. Joey Vows goes first, and Cap. Don't look. Honor system. On April 8th, 2025, what was the price of ETH? April 8th. So just a few months ago. Joey
2,700. 2,700.
I was going to get 25.
$1,400.
It's insane.
ETH was sub
That's crazy.
$1,500. ETH was sub $1,500, which, by the way, I would have actually guessed similar to you, thinking I was guessing too low, but being like, hey, he's got to be asking this question for a reason. Sub 1,500, 1471 on April 8th, 2025. That's a few months ago. We're at 4,194 and people are freaking out. I think people seem to forget Bitcoin had never crossed 100K until December 2024 or 2025. I'm sorry. Bitcoin had never crossed 100K until December of 2025.
2024. 2024. We're in
2024. My brain is this is the type of morning we're having. I was actually right the first time and second guess myself. Until December 2024, Bitcoin had never crossed 100K. math and time is hard. It freaks me out. We even chopped around going to 100K for December for a while until it was like December 10th or 11th or something like that. It's like Bitcoin never crossed 100K until that point. That's like 9 months ago, less than 9 months ago. And we just take it for granted and think like, oh my God, it's like, look, is it possible we dip down? Sure. But like the zoom out is so important. Again, ETH being $1,400, $1,471 on April 8th, 2025. Like two people on this show trying to guess like, hey, it had to be really low, guessed in the 2000s range. So just the perspective matters. And it's why time in the market over timing the market. Like, I know a lot of people are talking about it in an easy tweet. We talked about timing the market, but like, that's why it's like yesterday, my move, honestly, like I tweeted about it. I kind of talked about it a little bit. Actually, it's funny, like the people you see replying, Sandeep actually liked my tweet on this one, which was funny from Polygon, which makes sense given what it's about, I guess. But like, I talked about the moves I made yesterday just because I saw the market pulling back a bit and I felt like doing something. I want to feel something. So I made probably the most boring moves possible. I'm just going to read this out real quick so people are aware. And I think I shared this with Joey as well, like yesterday via text. I said, with the market moving down, made a few DeFi moves. I staked more on Polygon to earn yield and get access to multiple airdrops. Why? I know that I believe in the Polygon token continuing to go up. I know they're not going anywhere. I know they have a good team. I know they're well capitalized. And I get access to multiple airdrops. I up my Connect position, stake natively on the site. Why? Because it gives me exposure to hype, and I'm earning 6-7% on it, maybe more. So staking hyper liquid right on the site. I put more ETH in Katana. Why? I don't think ETH is going down, and it's earning me towards an airdrop, and it's earning me there. I closed out my Solana LP position. By the way, I've already capitulated on this one and reopened my Solana USDC sold position to keep an eye on today, but I'm not keeping it up overnight. And I basically said, I'm not a whale. I don't have a ton of money to work with, so I look for yield with minimal amount of risk. I maximize airdrops. It doesn't come at a cost, prioritizing less crowded trades because I have a lower bankroll. I manage capital to ensure I don't get too much exposure in one position or another. Look, the reason I bring this up is not to be like, hey, like, look at my tweet and what I'm doing. I'm just trying to park some money and park some capital so it does work for me while the market moves. I've said before, actually, I sent the invite. I got to mark it off on the Coffee with Captain calendar too, but I sent the invite out. We're going to have Katana on, I think, a week from Friday from Polygon to talk to them. And I'm looking forward to that conversation because it's the most user-friendly DeFi platform I've ever used. And it's a place where I'm parking because there's an airdrop. Like, the Polygon team literally, I think people like sometimes don't even realize the Polygon site. Let me see if I can find the Polygon staking site specifically to pull it up on here. Like, and this isn't just me shilling Polygon blatantly because again, I know like people are like, oh my God, like it's I'm not paid to do this or anything. Although Polygon, holler at your boy if you want to. I'm pulling it up on the site. Like, Polygon has a plan on their site called Community Airdrops, where you can find Katana confirmed, Billions confirmed, Maiden confirmed, and then some of them that are finished. So that's 3 airdrops right there on their site. By the way, also, again, worth saying, and again, this isn't Polygon shill, it's just something I noticed about it. You can literally you can put an email in, and you can find when they're going to do an airdrop. Like, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills here, but like, that's a great one. It's just, so like, I'm looking for places, and I know it's boring, but at the moment, where my comfort level is, and everybody's different, my comfort level is put money where I feel like I have the opportunity to earn against my money and make it work harder for me. Don't over-index on the risk curve at the moment. I may do that on Friday, like Cap said. I may fire off some longs or some shorts based on what the market, sentiment looks like. But like, we live in a world. Cap, do you know how crazy it is when I explain liquidity pools to people? Like, people put money in banks to earn 1%. And I'm like, did you know that you can provide liquidity on both sides? One's an infrastructure token that secures like blockchain, and the other is like money is just cash, and you just earn fees. And I explain it to them, and they're like, they're blown away. Like, we live in a space where we can turn money into money like very few other that existed before, even just holding spot. It is a opportunity. And I don't know, man. Sometimes I wonder, and maybe I'm crazy, and I know a lot of people agree, and I'm in a home crowd, but Cap, sometimes I wonder if this is the boomers had the wealth creation of the stock market, which was the greatest wealth creation opportunity for any generation, probably in the history of the world, or at least in recent history of the world. The boomers, all they had to do is put money into index funds, and they all retired millionaires. To me, and again, Von Frunten with a good point here. I've earned a 1.34% over the past 12 hours. That's a 3x annual savings return on a savings account, just on LPs. Crypto has the opportunity for, millennials and down, right? Because I think millennials are sort of the last kind of generation to sort of ubiquitously embrace crypto as far as not even a majority, but a lot of people, but probably even younger than us. We're probably in the rare millennial crowd. But for us, this is probably our S&P 500. This is probably our stock market. This is probably our Dow Jones. This is the thing where the best wealth creation opportunity, and people, it's not over. People aren't here yet. We're just seeing it come through. And I just think that we get so good thing we got Oxy coming up, a big brain coming to the stage. I just think we get so caught up in the market's up today, the market's down today, and we just missed the forest from the trees. So Cap, I don't know. That was a little bit of a rant. I'll hand it to you. Then we got Oxy up here. Oxy's probably got some big brain thoughts, but Cap, I think we're in it. And I think it's like when we say we're,
and it's not just some people, that was, you had to be buying Bitcoin in 2012. Well, that would have helped. Yeah. Those people it was the people who bought beachfront property, before, most of the boomers bought their suburban home in the Midwest. Yeah, it would have been helpful to be early to Bitcoin, but it's still so early in this wealth generation machine. And yeah, it is. DeFi is our generation's opportunity to create wealth where anyone can do it. It's not, there's your limiting factor. Some are going to say capital. It's just putting in the time and understanding it. And truly anyone can do it. You may start small. You may start your Polygon thing for someone with limited capital, hunt airdrops, play a game. You don't have to have millions of dollars to create wealth in this space. And I think that's probably where most people miss it, is they oh man, I only made $1,000 last month. You know how many people in the world have never made $1,000 investing in their entire life? Money compounds very quickly, and just stay in the game, just survive. Oxy, GM, what brought you up?
Hey guys, yeah. I want to echo what you're saying too. I think people are overthinking the whole market right now as far as how they have to make money. Right now, I don't know. People see the trenches and they're like, "This is the only way I'm going to make it out of here." When that is absolutely not the case. I am a huge proponent of DeFi and yield farming. There's so many opportunities there, and again, like Steve said, you don't need a huge stack to make a ton of money in this arena. You just have to be smart, and you just have to be willing to learn. And I think more and more, Guido really recently put an update out today or maybe yesterday, talking about on-chain and doing things. And speaking to the airdrop side of things, I think we're going to continue to move more and more towards people actually doing things and then being heavily rewarded for it. It used to be that way, and then it pivoted to the SocialFi aspect. And I think we're slowly moving back to people actually participating and using the products that these companies and these protocols and these projects are putting out. So this is your time.
Go ahead, keep cooking. I want to come back to this. This is a great take. Go ahead.
This is your time to learn, be curious, and understand what's the tech doing? What am I doing with my money? What's my money doing for me? And then use the projects and use the protocols, because there's going to be people that want to learn how to do this. Once they realize what's going on, you're going to be the one to be in the place to make content and to teach people. So just keep learning, what's happening, and keep trying to, keep being curious to educate. And I think this is maybe I don't know, kind of tying in the SPAC discussion from yesterday, where there's this DeFi SPAC it's all kind of bullshit, to be honest. But there is going to be something very real to be said about these boomers or these older people that are going to want to get involved at some point. There's just no question about it. There's the yield and the opportunity that's in DeFi right now is not going to be ignored for much longer. So just learn. You just got to learn, and you just got to try shit out.
Cap, you want to cook on that point he made about the actual doing?
I wholeheartedly agree. I still am excited, bullish about proof of ownership added to the InfoFi platform. I'm more like, I think it's I think it's all the above. And I think rewarding those who contribute by whether holding assets or using protocols, I think combining those elements with the social piece, that's the answer. That eliminates your AI slop. That eliminates the low effort stuff. And ultimately, that's what these protocols want. That's what these protocols need. They need users. They want people using their platform, not just talking about it. Yeah, talking about it helps, but if everyone's only talking about it to get an airdrop and no one's ever using the platform, they're going to move on because there's something else to talk about next month. Like, you gotta. So many, I feel, use InfoFi or KOLs before that as to capture attention, which helps, but you have to keep attention. You got to get people actually doing the thing. You got to build a product that people want to use and giving them a reason to keep coming back and using it. Sometimes it's gamified. Often it's just like, I think this is where we're heading with all the. I also think InfoFi is just a horrible name for this sector. There's got to be something better because it's info and the financial, the ability to make money on info is one piece, but it's really, I just don't think it's a descriptive explainer. And especially where we're heading with all this is I think those who will be rewarded the most are those that talk about the product, use the product, hold some assets. And why not? Like, this is what blockchain tech enables, all the above. So I think we're heading that way very fast. And there's a lot of opportunities to make money in crypto. It's just sometimes finding things that aren't as busy, that not everyone on CT is talking about, that if every KOL on X is talking about something, it's probably pretty crowded. You're probably not going to get much of an airdrop. I don't see any of them talking about the stuff Steve just shared.
Yeah, I mean, that's the this is the thing that gets me excited. It's like, like you said, like, people will be like I had some people like laughing at me for like my Polygon and flow moves, and it's like, well, I'm getting good yield. Not a lot of people are there, and any airdrops I'm moving towards are putting me in a good spot. And I think Katana is a little more popular because they had a Guido campaign before I discovered them. So because I wasn't deep in the DeFi streets and I don't talk about things I don't actually do. And now that I am, I'm like, okay, this seems like a pretty good opportunity. But like, the point that Oxy made, I think is very salient. And actually, it's funny. I had wrote that InfoFi article a while ago, which was, probably a lot of people maybe not read. It was like 2,500 words. But the whole point of it was like, talking doesn't really do it, and it invites a lot of tourists. When I saw the Capital Launchpad, I was like, I don't like this product for Guido because I feel like Guido is launching a product that is going to, ultimately lead to, downstream of KOL rounds. When you get to a KOL round, you're already below the VCs, below all the other big numbers, right? I think what you maybe like sort of get, meanwhile, Cap is just mainlining creatine or something. I have no idea what that was. It was just a scoop of are you mainlining creatine, Cap? If people are watching the stream.
No, it's my one of my drugs to help me get to 120 plus.
Oh, it's the NMN. Yeah. He just sent it straight from the tap, a powder scoop of something into his mouth, which I've done before, but I'm not as apt at that one. I can take a handful of pills without thinking about it, but that one, no thanks. But I guess the point I was making is like, when you look at like something like InfoFi, it's not just talking about it, it's being about it. Like Polygon is a campaign right now. Again, to go back to them, Polygon is has a campaign right now where you connect your wallet, show your staking, and you're entered. I believe it's a raffle. It might be a distribution where if you're a top yapper and you're staking Polygon, you have the chance to get this extra prize pool.
This is the way. They all should be doing this.
Burbs. If you're holding a burb and you're tweeting about it, you get a boost. I think the point Oxy just made, if I'm Katana and I do a leaderboard, can Guido show that people are putting money on my site? Now, again, you can decide if you want to give bigger people put more money, more opportunity, because That is real.
I don't know if you saw this. We did just get since the show started, we got a Guido update. I've not read the whole thing, but keep cooking, and I'll share the post here in a minute.
Yeah. I hadn't seen it, but yeah, point is like, I think that those things are important. And I think the opportunity to actually share wallet data and information of what people are doing is important. And what Oxy's saying about people doing the thing, it's like, this is like InfoFi coming to me in the best way possible, because there's things I use that I don't rank for that I talk about, and people who are better with better reach talk about them. And then there are things I actually use, which, by the way, it seems to be working because I'm like 6 on the Polygon 30-day leaderboard, and I actually use that and talk about it. So, but Cap, give me the highlights. What's the kind of highlights?
So here's the highlights. Exactly what we just said is the new roadmap is at the innovation inflection point, bringing together on-chain and social. So exactly what we just said. It's the future is and not or. It's not just using the product or just talking about it. The people who get rewarded the most are going to be ones who do both. Use the product on chain or hold the product and talk about it. The launching Guido Venture to fund and accelerate crypto applications that leverage its unique distribution power, compounding value back to the Guido network. Crypto emerging as a solution rather than a cause in the social media war against AI slop. Uniquely positioned to build a distribution network that rivals traditional ad tech. And since Q1, it has further solidified its lead as the top AI application in crypto. Pretty bold take there. With highest verifiable revenues. Probably hard to dispute that, I guess, if you're talking purely on revenue. Doubling down on growth and investment across all fronts. Full roadmap and an article from you is, I believe I just pinned it up top. If not, I will get it now. Yeah, it is pinned up top, so if anyone wants to read that further. But basically, yeah, they agree that this is the future. It's not just talking about product. You need to be using it. And why would they not build towards this? Because that's what being on chain allows them to see all this. It is I don't want to say it's easy, but it just makes sense that both are brought into the equation. And I think this is, this here, crypto emerges as a solution rather than a cause in social media's war against AI slops. I agree wholeheartedly. It's the easiest way, I think, to eliminate the AI slop or drastically reduce or penalize, those that are just, solely farming on the timeline.
This is one of those things where it's just like, just hang on tight, at least for people like you and me, and watch it work. Like, I am just hanging on tight. I am continuing to talk about the things I think about that I'm actually doing. And there is a real chance that this InfoFi effectively ends up coming into me where it's like, I'm talking about things I'm using and it works. So at least for me, yes, very excited, very much liking the updates of like the Burb thing. And yeah, I think that there is so much opportunity that exists in this market if you kind of have an idea what you're doing and actually pay attention. And that's why I'm like really bullish on the way that we're approaching it long term. I think again, I just think people you just got to be smart. You just got to play it smart, man. And I'm going to continue to look at InfoFi moving this direction, because like the thing about InfoFi is like,
what's your name? You got any guesses? Like any takes on what's a better descriptive for the sector?
I just have to think about what's there. Like, talk to earn is stupid. I mean, it's just loyalty rewards. I don't know. I got to think about what it is. It's like, because it is almost like a third-party loyalty system in that way, right? Like, where it's like, but it's also a marketing tool. So I have to think of what it is. I've never been a fan of the Fi stuff because I think people get turned off by whatever Fi. But it is what it is. So I got to think about what it is. Oxy threw his hand up, so maybe he has a good idea. Oxy, get back in here.
I don't really, but it was funny. The first thing I thought about was the everything token in the loyalty program. Like, how in reality, isn't this what like companies want for all of their products? Like, don't they want people to be, it's like, I don't know, I guess it's proof of doing, but then proof of talking about it, I guess. It's just like, I don't know, it's kind of leveling up the loyalty program, I suppose. But yeah, I guess I don't have a good name, but that was the first thing I thought of, Steve, was the loyalty aspect of it.
Dude, yeah, you're speaking my language. I mean, this is like what we talk about with NFTs, providing actual proof of the ownership of the thing, getting to your actual fans. Like that was the whole point of the book way back when. And like, it's going to seem hilariously like what I love about like the way we wrote that. So like, story about the everything token. Our editor, the guy who was the or our publisher, the guy who was a publisher for Start with the Y and Purple Cow and all these really, really good marketing books. He made this comment when we were putting stuff out there, and he's like, he actually changed our outline when we were talking about it and was like, you guys need to make this somewhat future-proof on your thesis. So like Gary Vaynerchuk was an example we use of jab, 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 right hook, where the examples might be antiquated at times or might seem old and dated, but the actual theme of the book holds. And he wrote a lot of books like that. He had a really good publisher. And our thought on that, very much similar. I used, there was a book by Jonah Berger called Contagious that was very similar that I really liked. And the idea is making it future-proof. When I read the Everything Token, there are a lot of examples in there where you're like, ooh, I don't know if that holds up. And I think for people who maybe are not seeing the bigger picture, will read it and be like, oh, you missed on Starbucks doesn't have a loyalty program anymore, or Doodles is doing this, or, oh, Bored Ape Yacht Club's floor is this. But the actual themes were meant to do exactly what you said, Oxy. And to your point, the idea of on-chain loyalty is sort of what it comes down to, is that you have this ability like never before to have insights into your customers and reward them better and help them more.
Yes. And so I think it's on-chain, it's loyalty plus brand ambassadorship. It's loyalty plus referral programs, plus affiliate programs. It's like taking the best parts of loyalty and affiliate / referral marketing from Web 2 and combining them together.
Yeah, I agree. And it's like, as things continue to go on chain, like these companies might be, hopefully these companies aren't too early, because like, this is it.
To this exact topic, OSF was on the Coinbase Institutional Market podcast yesterday. I pinned up top. It's a quick interview. The whole thing is like a half hour. The OSF interview portion's like 10, 15 minutes. Everyone should listen to it. It's just, he's really getting dialed in this vision of brand coin and next generation loyalty. And it's just like, I sent it to that was what I sent to my Normie group chat this morning, was I told him everyone should listen to this. Take 10, 15 minutes, listen to this. And I'm not saying that he's figured everything out or has all the answers or this is the way, but I believe it's the closest that's building with this intent, this idea in mind, that the future of loyalty rewards programs comes on chain. And it's not just rewarding those that are loyal and your customers, it's doubly rewarding those that are brand ambassadors in addition to utilizing your product or being a customer. Like it's like you don't get extra airline miles because you talk positively about Delta or American Airlines. They're like, cool, thanks. Like that's a big miss. Like it's a huge opportunity in the world of business. Like they all offer most offer referral programs of some sort, but most are just like, oh, here's $5 or $10 if you refer someone. Well, that doesn't get anyone that excited. Like this is just, I really do. I think it's the merge of loyalty plus referral or affiliate marketing and putting both on steroids.
Yeah, I'm excited to like revisit my InfoFi article that I wrote a couple months ago, just because I haven't had a chance to sit down and do writing because I'm trying to figure out life stuff. But like, I'm excited to revisit that, because the truth is, like, when I look back on that article, like it sort of says all these points that, Oxy's making, that I'm making. And also like you combine it with sort of the everything token. It's the same idea. It's like, we need a holistic view of a consumer. And like somebody can have a Delta rewards card and get all sorts of miles, but talk trash about Delta all day long. Somebody could not have a Delta rewards card and, or not, have a Delta rewards card, maybe, not fly as much, but talk really positively about their experiences. And you can find a medium where it's going to take some tinkering. But when you input the data of, I use the Yankees fan example, when you input the data of money spent on merchandise, tickets to attend games attended, talking about the team, you can get a holistic view. Like think about when you're talking about whether someone's a casual or not in sports, when people get in these debates. Like, it's like, I don't know, like you could say like, are you really an Ohio State fan? Well, because you talk about them and, are you a fair weather? It's like, well, I talk about them. I play NCAA's Ohio State. That's a data point that you could potentially input if there's a blockchain connection there constantly, right? It's my team. I go to games. I went to the Tennessee game in the shoe last year and got really good seats. I buy merchandise. I talk about them. And when you put all that together, it's like, hey, this dude's an OSU honk. I'm looking at right now. I have a national championship quarter with like, the paper from when they won in 2021 and an image and my ticket from when I went to that game or 2000, I should say 2002. I've got a bit. It's like there is a different view of fandom and what it is and a different view of what your company is. And like, I think the idea of participation, ongoing rewards, but also the surprise and delight thing. Like, imagine if the ApeCoin leaderboard that's on the ApeChain leaderboard on wallchain. Imagine if they just said tomorrow, guess what? We're dropping 1,000 ApeCoin to everybody in the top 25 right now. We're just doing it. We decided we were going to do it. Like, suddenly it's like, wait, there's surprise and delights that happen. And I think that there's so many ways you could adjust InfoFi to make it work. And I think we're continuing to see it evolve. And again, in our space right now, we are the guinea pigs because we are an early stage tech. This is new tech. And when you're a guinea pig, opportunity is asymmetrical. And while it did go to a lot of big accounts and, AI farmers, it's more and more moving in the direction of people who are actually using the things. So at least for me, it's like, I think, again, just using examples like the Moonbird campaign, awesome. Showing that you own it, boosting your mind share. The Polygon campaign, where you connect to another site, and if you're staking in the top 50 yappers, you get entered to potentially win something. Also good. So I think the actions matter and loyalty matters. So the flex tags hand go up over there. GM, go ahead and get in here.
Yeah, GM. Yeah, you were talking about surprise and delight. Here's a surprise and delight. I was just I'm deep down working on flex tag actually at the moment, and I was in the space earlier with some apes, and they're talking about Ape Fest. Are you going, by the way?
Yeah, we'll be there.
Any of you guys?
Yeah, we'll both be there.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I was in Vegas for the Bitcoin conference, so I can't afford to go again. But yeah, I was thinking then to offer like a small discount of like 23% for everyone who's going there for the first 69. If anyone is interested. I haven't rolled out anything yet, but that's something I was thinking of doing.
Yeah, for people looking to little off topic, but for people who are going to Ape Fest, yeah, flex tag. I mean, if you want to have your PFP, I probably don't need one anymore. I definitely have one with my ape on it. Don't need it anymore because my face is my PFP, but a good way to kind of show that identity out there. So, good promotion for sure to kind of get people wearing that around the neck and being able to connect your online and offline identities. I know there's a partnership of some sort over in Lisbon that they had with one as well, and it's a good way to connect those online and offline things. So worth checking out if you're going to Ape Fest for sure. But yeah, Cap, I don't know.
Sometimes.
What's that?
Are you still wearing yours?
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
If you still wear yours sometimes.
Oh yeah. No, honestly, I actually don't wear any identifying things around anymore like that because my face is my PFP, which makes it easy to identify me nowadays. So because I've gone face PFP, I actually don't. I don't tend to like. I have them as like sort of mementos that I'll like hang around my office and things like that. Like it's always cool to have, and I always like a cool physical. But at least for me personally, don't need to do it quite as much anymore because I've faced PFP. And Cap, I'm guessing you're somewhat, yeah, Cap's got his. He's showing his on the screen right now. But I don't think you're yours anymore, Cap, because you stream every day at this point. So it's sort of a little bit more easy to spot you.
Yeah, I'll probably wear something at Ape Fest, but it's the funny thing is, especially when we're together, it's not our faces. It's like the number one thing that people have come up to us and like introduced themselves because they recognize us. It's our voices. Someone hears Steve or myself talking and they're like, Cap, Steve. That's so that always hits.
We've got the audio flex tag basically. Yeah, it is interesting. We've had that happen. Yeah, we've had it happen. Like
you guys are so recognizable also, anyways, right? So.
Yeah, but it's a good thing. I mean, if people go by PFPs, like for example, I know he's posted pictures before. I ran into Peter Parker, from at an abstract event, hit him up, dapped him up, hung out with him for a little bit, and it was like, you know him by the ape, but you see him by the person. And I think in a world where identity is digital, it's definitely good thing to have to identify yourself. But Cap, I know we're running hot on InfoFi this morning. Do we want to hit a daily market update?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do that.
The daily market update straight to your brain. Powered by ApeCoin, no hype, just gains. Moving on ApeChain, we bringing the heat. NFTs, fence alpha, never miss a beat. ApeChain on top, now we bringing the flex. The home of NFTs, these now what's next. Come on, my head time, but you want the time to chop cock for one time.
It's time for the daily market update powered by ApeCoin, the home of NFTs. ApeChain has it all, bringing culture, fun, and community to the blockchain. Dive in and see why ApeChain is on top. And Cap, as you pull these charts up too, the other thing about people like Tom Lee, I think there is something to be said about like TradFi is a lot more patient than us. So I think when they see stuff like this, they don't freak out quite as much. Well, the moves are bigger. They're like, well, I'm thinking in terms of years, not days. But anyway, Cap, go ahead and pull it up.
Yeah, I'm debating where to start. Looks like OpenSea Farm's back on. So let's start with majors, and then we will work our way up for the daily market update here. Whoop, wrong button. Bear with me. All right, looking at our majors here, down on the day, Bitcoin down 2% to 113,701, ETH down 3% to 4187. I say this down, they have bounced a little bit. They could continue to drop, but although they're down on the day, they bounced from where they went to. I don't know where Bitcoin and ETH ultimately fell to, but down 3% on the day. XRP down 4% to 289. Solana down 1% to 180. The strength of the losers today. Doge down 3%. Cardano down 8%. Runes are runes. And as we looked at our memes, pretty red day across the board. Pingu down 7%. Doge down 3. Sheeb down 3. Pepe down 4. Trump down 3. Bonk down 5. And then head up to NFT land here where it gets a little. I'm gonna pause here actually. I don't see anything that I'm aware of here on the actual top movers, but if anyone has any runners or anything hot out there, let us know. Looking at NFTs though, we've got Sushiverse. No idea what that is. Appears to be wash trading because 720 ETH and very low floor price. So disregard that one. This one here, though, Big Eye Rebellion, also wash trading, only 98 sales. Base Style, as I'm guessing this is the OpenSea farm today, 32,000 sales, up 52% of the day. That usually says that's OpenSea farm back on. Moonbird's up 4% on the day to 3.3. Art Blocks, I'm not sure why it's showing a 2 ETH floor price, but that doesn't make any sense to me. Unless it's a fake collection.
Yeah, I don't know.
They did cut off their 500. You're basically that kind of putting it into the that collection, but it's definitely not a 2 ETH floor. Pudgy, big penguins up slightly, basically flat, but up slightly to 12.44. Little's down on the day to 1.42. Base Paint looks like another preferred OpenSea farm. This one is interesting. Yumi Mono. Up big, 0.154 ETH floor, up 73% of the day, and it does not appear to be a wash trading because 225 sales on 38 ETH volume. Mutant's up about 1% to 1.63. If anyone knows what this Yumi Mono is, let us know. It is revealed. It's got like the Milady meets Elf vibes. Yeah, I don't know anything else about it though, and it's been out for a while, so not a new mint. Something sent it here in the last day. GG's to anyone holding that, but I am completely in the dark on that one. That's our daily market update brought to you by ApeChain. ApeChain on top, the home of the Wheel of Fate. I thought I saw overnight it must have been an engagement farm. I thought I saw the multi-ball ape was one. It in fact was not. We got confirmation it is still out there. And I saw our guy Frosty's is buying balls. I think he's at 100 ape for 500 balls. So if you're grinding and looking to you're not grinding for you're trying to win that ape, and you just want to grind and sell. Anyone can do this. Another easy way to make money in crypto. Is 100 ape going to change your life? No, but go tell me somewhere not in crypto where you can just go click some buttons and make $60 today.
Yeah,
I don't think it exists.
Yeah, it's honestly like I'm again, I know there's some Wheel of Fate consternation out there with like the amount of time, energy, whatever. I need to get the clicker going actually, because I know that you saw that, and like if I'm out of the house, figure that out. But yeah, I mean, I got a bunch of no wins yesterday, but I won 10 ape at one point recently, and like, you know, I was listening to a podcast, I was working on a couple things on my phone, I was sending out some tweets, and I was just clicking with my right hand, tweeting with my left hand, and we ride and make it happen. So yeah, I think there's definitely some opportunity out there still in ape to be won. Remind me, is there an ape in the silver ball, or is that just a mutant? Do you know?
I believe just mutant, maybe Coda. Pretty sure there's only 2 apes, one in the gold ball and then one in the multi ball, is my understanding. If anyone has other information. The other thing I did pin up top, and we should probably at least cover, we'll maybe do a deeper dive, but yeah, I have it pinned up top. Our guy, Simple Farmer, just joined the team as head of DeFi over there at ApeChain, and guy's been cooking, having a hell of a first month. They're just getting ready to launch Camelot, the first DeFi protocol to launch on ApeChain. We're excited to bring some fresh action, boosted rewards for ape liquidity pools, and brand new token launch from ApeChain's leading NFTs. Users can now earn extra rewards when providing liquidity for Ape ETH or Ape ETH, either on Arbitrum or ApeChain. And on tomorrow, G's, the top ape NFT on ApeChain, launches Peanuts. Peanuts is the first decentralized NFT ETF, introducing novel token mechanics to ApeChain. This sold out. The pre-sale sold out in seconds yesterday. Kind of tilted because I missed it. Still opportunity though for holding my G's. G's, I think that's actually, let me go back here. I will actually want to check, because I think they've had a pretty good run up as part of all this. And I just don't want to misspeak. Yeah, G's on Ape are up to 1100 floor. So you can see, you know, was Jesus. Yeah, nice little pop here. You know, about 1,000 ape up to 1,100 ape, ran up to maybe 1,500 and pulled back a little bit this morning. Sorry, the floor is 1,300. So yeah, up nice, 16% of the day. You know, the people like it. Like this is, you just saw the charts. Market's red, most NFTs are flat or down, and G's are up 16%. So, man, this was a big fumble. I minted 10 of these, or I either minted 10 or had 10 early, and sold them all on the run up. Thought I looked smart, and had I just held them all, it would have been a really, really nice dub. But pumped for Rita and team, and excited to see, you know, more of what comes out of this. As you get into your DeFi journey, Steve, I'm curious, are you also, there is a, you know, I guess kind of like a ref link here. There was some requests in the chat for, do you have a Katana or Polygon ref link for what you just showed earlier?
Ooh, I don't know if they do have ref links, but let me see if Katana does. I am terrible at sharing ref links. I'm not sure if Katana has a ref link. I hope it does, because I would love to, but I don't actually see one on my stuff. So let me look and see if there is a ref link. I'm looking at like ecosystem overview, deposit and earn. Like I'm trying to figure out. So I will figure that out. If nothing else, we'll try to get one maybe by next Friday when we have them on. But I need to look, because I don't believe that. I think I'm terrible because I do all this stuff without ref links. So Katana, I don't think Polygon staking has one either. So RIP me. But I don't know. It's certainly I gotta check, because I would think if there was a ref link, it would be like really front and center. So I don't see one on here, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, I'll look. But yeah, I'm playing around in these things, and it's funny. It's funny again. I'm not telling people. By the way, don't follow me into trades, because I've been in DeFi for 3 weeks, so I have no idea what I'm doing. So like I don't recommend people follow me into trades. I always recommend kind of do your research and do your thing. Again, the reason I like Katana is I don't see the usual suspects talking about it, and I see opportunity that if it's less crowded, I can put less money in and be like, oh, I'll put a fifth of the money in that people are putting in. Because I look at like Project X, which I will get involved in at some point, because I'm probably going to do ETH and Hype as soon as I get money over there without losing like $20 on the swap. But an ETH and Hype trade, it's like ETH Hype liquidity pool, I'll earn points. Maybe I'll do Hype USDTO, because I know that's a big one that is cooking right now, APY wise. But like, what am I going to do? Get the same amount of points as somebody put $100,000 in the protocol? Like, I'm not. Like, so my airdrop is probably going to be significantly smaller. So not that I don't think hype is a good place to play or a good place to be looking for drops. Like I'm doing more passive stuff on hypes. I'm probably going to go a little harder on liminal with some stables here. I'm on Kinetic staking hype because it gives me exposure to hype and I earn it 6-7% and I can just double stake it and not worry about it. I don't want to get too cute with liquid staking. I know a lot of people LP their liquid staking. That scares me. So I don't know. I'm playing it. I'm playing it kind of like where I have opportunity, and I think Katana is one of those places. So, but yeah, that's where my head's at. But no, I need to look into Camelot, and I know I'm retweeting it now. I know Simple Farmer sent me that this morning. Looks like you can do liquidity on Ape ETH on Arbitrum or Ape ETH on ApeChain. Are you going to LP over there? I mean, I imagine that there's some juicy yield going on right there if I had to guess.
Yeah, most likely. I needed I have some ape staked with my ape over there. I just probably I need to make a decision if I'm going to move some of that or put some more over there.
Not too juicy, but Ape USDT DC is earning 13.5, so I will probably do that pool if I'm picking one. Because USDC Ape, I can let it slide around for a little bit and chop, and Ape's been relatively range bound for a little bit, which is a good thing for that. Ape ETH and Ape USDT DC D, which is I believe both on ApeChain. 28% right now. So I'll probably do a couple of LPs with some.
Wait, where's the 28%?
28% on, it says Ape ETH and Ape USDD, which I'm guessing means you're having your Ape on ApeChain and your Ape USD and USD on ApeChain. So I'm guessing that means like both coins are on ApeChain. At the moment, it's gonna fluctuate based on more people using it, but it looks like that one is about 28%. Take it for what it's worth. The moment the TVL on that is $7,800. So it'll drop drastically versus you get 13% on a TVL of $4 million on Ape USD. So I'll probably play around on there. I'll probably like LP some positions because I've got some Ape. Might as well put it to work. Oxy, saw your hand flap. Get in here.
Yeah, that's another thing that I'm glad you guys are talking about this, but like incentivized liquidity pools with additional rewards and things. Polkadot has incentivized liquidity pools, Uniswap, like Airdrop, they all have these incentivized liquidity pools that offer higher than higher than what your actual percentage yield should be in rewards to draw you to their platform. So like you guys talking about this is exceptional because so many people don't understand there's these opportunities that you can farm and get additional yield with a smaller stack that a lot of people aren't, capitalizing on. So that's something to keep looking out for. I love that you guys are talking about that.
Well, sometimes complexity plays a factor. Like I tried to research and get into Polkadot over the weekend. I just didn't end up over there. But like, the Omni pools on hydration is a great example of that where I'll pull them up right now and check what they look like. But let's launch the app. It's always funny how like with crypto, you got to like hit launch app all the time. But liquidity, and I'll pull them up in a second. I'm going to go to Omni pools and stables. So, Funky showed us this the other day. I have not gotten a chance to deposit into these yet, but I've been looking at them. But I know Funky pulled them up. I'll make my screen a little bigger. So let's look. Does not show yield if I'm zoomed in too much. Yeah, so I got to zoom out. All right, so let's look for some juice pools. Sol on hydration. Dumping into a pool. 35%.
It's insane.
35%. Aave, 27%. Chainlink, 20%. And then
I feel like the obligatory, it's not risk-free. There's protocol risk. There's smart contract risk. Do your own research. Hydration's been around for a while. Polkadot's been around for a while. And it's just like, it's really insane. Do you think you make 35% on your soul it's kind of bananas.
Yeah. And like
I go share this with my in real life group chat and they're going to be like, dude, it's a scam. That doesn't like that just doesn't, too good to be true is exactly what they most likely would say.
Yeah.
Because they're smart people.
No, it's like, even like, I know this is like the boring thing to a lot of people. And I have some money locked up that's earning money, but it's earning yield. I think I have like one risk asset on Flow right now, which is like sort of like this meme coin that you can then switch for this other coin that you can then stake. So there's a little bit more deepness there to do it. But I am now on track. And this, you have to like be active on the chain. But like I am on track. I think I did my math. I think in 50 days, I will have enough points to get that iPad, which I don't need an iPad for anything. I just want an iPad. I don't know why. I'm like, oh, I can get an iPad that I can redeem. There's a MacBook that's cheaper that I should probably get on the Flow reward system. But like, I'm basically passively earning on in their vaults and on their protocols. And I'm close, like in the next 2 months, I should have enough to get an iPad. Like, I don't know. That's not too shabby. See if I can show the Flow store here. Cause like, it's like, Cap, do you think I'm crazy? So I don't need an iPad for anything. I just think the iPad would be cool to get. And I've sort of started this journey for it. I don't need a new iPhone. MacBook Air 13 inches cheaper than the iPad. Thoughts on that?
I go MacBook. Yeah, for sure.
You go MacBook Air over the iPad?
But I'm also not a big I'm just not a big iPad user. I've had many. I've attempted to use them. I've attempted to use my second screen, and I just always end up reverting back to my MacBook. Now I have a Pro. I don't have an Air, but yeah, I think you get a lot more use out of a MacBook Air.
In like a couple of weeks, once my keys unlock, I already theoretically have enough once things unlock to get a Series X or a PS5. Don't want those. My son has a MetaQuest. Don't need that. Don't need the Ledger Flex. No interest in the Raspberry Pi. But yeah, when you start going down, at one point I could have claimed a Labubu. But yeah, like I these two right here are what I'm deciding between. I'm similar. I have never used an iPad when I've gotten it properly. But like, I want to be an iPad guy. It's hard to explain. Like, I want to be an iPad guy. Like, I want to be a guy who uses the iPad, like, when I'm traveling or places, or when I'm, if I'm doing an interview, I could have it out for, like, reference and, use it for a bigger version of X or whatever. Like, there's some things you could use it for. So, I don't know. Part of me wants to get it for, gaming and crypto. I almost kind of want to use it as, like, my more, like, when I'm not, like, I almost want to put my phone down and use my iPad when I'm like sitting around at my house and using like an iPad for like X and, sort of crypto purposes. Like, I kind of want to
get old and your eyesight's starting to fade.
Oh yeah. I need like the big text on my phone. The big text. But yeah, man, it's I don't know. It's something I've been thinking about, but like, I don't know. I gotta think. I'm trying to retrofit what I would use it for, because I've been trying to work my way up to the iPad, but a MacBook Air feels juicy too. Plus, but again, I don't know. We'll see. I'll make a decision in the next couple of months. But the point is, there's things you can do with your money if you don't want to just sit with its spot. If you want to be more active, there's LPs. If you want to be more passive, there's vaults. And again, all these things come with risk. You need to trust that the vault's going to do what they say they're going to do. You need to hope that they're going to continue to earn against it. You need to hope that there is not protocol risk or a hack. Those things happen. Lots of people just were already starting to dunk on me for my iPad. Like, Steve thinking of problems for his here. Get a laptop, MacBook over iPad all day, unless you needed to draw with. I
agree with saying, yeah. Unless you're planning on getting art, I think you'd be much happier with the MacBook Air than the iPad, but that's just me.
Yeah. So
what I would say maybe changes this is if voice levels up. Like, voice is already, it's there today with ChatGPT and others, but I think if Apple's voice and voice commands takes the next level, and you don't need the keyboard. I know you can get keyboards from Apple or iPads as well. I think we are ripe for hardware disruption. I don't know what it looks like. I think it's probably between glasses and earpods of what like the next big device boom is. I don't know how that plays out for laptops and iPads, but
yeah, glasses. I don't think laptops and iPads go away just because you can do, at least I think we're a while away from like, because like even now, laptops kind of disrupted desktops. Right now, I have two screens, one here and one here. I know that you're kind of like doing a straight laptop guy. I have my screen, my camera, my setup, my desk, my things. Like, I have a battle station. Like, so I don't think that goes away. I think that's always going to be useful, at least for the next foreseeable future. Glasses are interesting because I do have a pair of those MetaQuest glasses, and I got them when they first dropped. I got the glasses one, unfortunately, because I am a 40-year-old dude who is like, mid-looking. I look creepy when I wear them. I should have gone with the sunglasses. I saw like Tebow wearing the sunglasses when we were in Lisbon, and he looked awesome. And I'm like, oh, those are the MetaQuest. I should have gotten those. But the way they can like record, the way you can listen, like you can listen to music and people don't hear it somehow, even though it's coming through your glasses and podcasts and things. So the glasses are awesome. So I think that's probably bigger than the AirPods. But I think the glasses, because the glasses basically are AirPods too, but also do other things.
Quick digression, just because we were talking about it earlier. Appreciate Diablito. There's some confusion on this. If you're doing the G's to Peanuts swap, just be aware that you can get your G's back, but you have to pay 35 Peanuts to get your specific G's or pick a specific G's. You may not be guaranteed to get yours if someone else takes it, but you can pick a specific one out of the pool for 35 Peanuts or a random one for 1% fee, which is 10 Peanuts.
This is what Bunchu did with his BYC when he yeeted it into the liquidity pool, basically.
Yep.
Same tech. I didn't get in on that one. I'm probably not participating. It's fun. I'm fun to see the experiments. Excited for them to keep playing with it. It's just not my journey, so I'm probably not playing around with that one in particular. But yeah, I don't know. I'm going to be interested. The other thing I'll say is that, like, let's say market conditions are going sideways, potentially. Like, let's say that we either chop or trade downward from here. Like, we don't get a rate cut, and then in October, we don't get a rate cut, and Trump goes to war with, Powell, and we have this, issue. I'll tell you one easy way to run the economy up is that we could end, again, if we weren't doing the tariff thing, and I understand the reasoning, whatever, I'm not trying to debate tariffs, like, that would turn things around in a hurry if we just said, fuck it, trade with the world again. Which maybe that's the plan here. But if we don't gigasend, I'm just going to double down on the take that every one of these brands that has an airdrop coming should be thinking about, yes, what's best for them timing-wise, but how can they be prepared to strike in the most opportune time? Like, if we get a rate cut in September, but maybe we're not going to get one in October, and you're ready to go, you can gigasend that sucker and actually have such a good experience on the airdrop, right? Like, so I think...
Yeah, I think all brands that have one coming, they need to have everything ready to go. So when something hits like that, they can go live. They can have their TG within a week, not work on it for 3 more months and then miss the window. Real quick, 2 other things we were hitting on. Kazi in the chat says these just launched. They're in pre-order. So if you want those AI glasses, you can now get Oakley Meta glasses, Steve. I don't know. This is the first I've seen or heard of this.
So they're better looking. Yeah, I saw these launch the other day. So I have the original Ray-Bans, the regular glass ones. And again, I use them like zilch because they look really bad on me. They are really, really cool. Like, I have them. But these are much, much better looking. If I could go back, I would get the sunglasses because, when you're wearing them out and about in the summer. And the reason I got them is I'm like, oh, what if I want to wear them inside? Or what if I want to wear them at other places? But I think the form factor, because they need to fit all the wires and charging through there, just doesn't work well for me. It's like, I don't know, just doesn't fly for me. Like, they almost look like the big glasses that, like, I don't know. But yes, they just launched. I don't know what the new update has, how much the new software is.
8-hour battery. Hardware. 8-hour battery on it. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, better hardware. So yeah, I think as those form factors get smaller, like, I think to me, like, a cover for those, like, imagine you're on a long plane ride and it's like Apple Vision Pro, but it doesn't fucking, turn you into a robot, or you're not walking around like an asshole. It's like, imagine you're sitting in a period for a long period of time and you can just be immersed in an environment sitting in because that was the cool part. I never used or saw or bought the Apple Vision Pro. I like the concept of it. I still think spatial computing is a thing, like the idea that you can grab and move and do things. But imagine that world, but like, your Meta glasses just have a feature that go over them, and it's just like much smaller form factor, and you're on a plane and it's almost like wearing a sleep mask, and boom, you're out in the middle of the desert. Your sound is completely taken away and you're watching something. Like, that would be cool.
Yep. I agree. What a time to be alive. And then it's not often that I quote kook on the show here, but I also agree with this take. So I'm going to share it. Dips to buy: Bitcoin, Hype, Sol, and Fartcoin. Also my bags. I would just add Rect and Billy to that. Pingu maybe. Guaranteed all these rip hardest when the market reverses. Playbook at this stage of the cycle is easy. Just DCA the winners and wait for the parabolic move. 80% of the gains come in the last 20% of the time.
I don't know. People say that all the time. Is that true? I feel like that's like one of those things that people say, and I don't know if it's like it's true that 80% of the games come in the last 20%, because like, I don't know. I mean, Bored Ape Yacht Clubs were like $400,000 floor long before the market. I mean, that wasn't in the last 20% of the market. Like, market dumped,
Depends on what you're using as the last 20%. I think if you're talking majors, then yeah, I think all that did happen in the last 20% of.
I also think people like get cute with the term last 20%. Like, of course, like stuff rips up and then it dumps. Like, so basically what he's saying is time the top. Is that basically what the last 20% means? Time the top, basically, more or less, like 80% of the gains? Like, because like
I think outside of majors, I think it is tested out cycle after cycle that the alts, anything other than Bitcoin, has its biggest moves towards the after Bitcoin is already topped, and we did see that with apes as well last cycle.
Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is like 80% of the gain. So you're telling me like Bitcoin rips 80% in the last 20% of the cycle or something? Like
no, so everything but Bitcoin rips.
Okay, so Ethereum,
after
like
Bitcoin 80 tops. After Bitcoin tops, then you got, let's say you got 20% remaining. That's when everything else rips.
So in the last 20% of the cycle, if we're before the last 20% of the cycle right now, the argument would be that ETH is going to rip to 7,000 then dump in the next couple months or something. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand the, like, I guess I'm trying to understand the colloquialism now. Now I'm not quite understanding. Like, so you're telling me like everything will rip almost double in the last fifth of the cycle is what people are saying? In like the last fifth of the cycle, like assets effectively double? Like, that's basically what that phrase says.
So when do you think Bitcoin topped last cycle?
Oh, I have no idea. I couldn't even guess. I wouldn't even begin to be able to guess. But like, I guess what I'm trying to figure out, like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, what 80% of the gains being the last 20% would imply that if let's say that the cycle is 4 years long, let's say we're in a 4-year cycle. So I guess that would mean that in the last 20%, which would be less than a year. So in the last 9 months, everything doubles. Is that the concept? Basically, like in a 4 year, I'm not being smart here or smart owl. That's what that would say.
Nice. But so last cycle, Bitcoin topped in November of 21 at 69,000. A year later, November of 22, Bitcoin was 16K. Right. Overlay that to where apes ripped up during that whole time to all-time highs. Like,
go ahead. Sorry.
But I think forget 80 and 20%. That's probably made up. The point is, most of the gains for everything other than Bitcoin comes in after Bitcoin is topped. I think that I agree with. You'd have to do some more research and look at hard data to come up with exact percentages. But the point is, if once Bitcoin tops, that's when everything else runs.
Got it. Yeah, because like that's like the thing. It's like people say that thing, and I'm like, I guess the concept is that, again, in a 4-year cycle, stuff just rips in the last 7 to 8 months. But like, that's also like very, like, I don't know. It's a little bit of a tricky phrase. Like, I get it, but like, it's basically saying like, hey, time the top's going to happen and then everything's going to dump. Sure. Like, and yes, there's going to be hot run-ups, but it basically would say that like right now, the reason why that's exciting and what he's saying, and like where he's basically saying is like, we haven't hit the last 20%. Like
per his tweet, he believes Bitcoin is not even top for Bitcoin's not in this cycle. I'm not sure. I would agree, but I'm not as convicted on that as I think everything else is not hit their top yet this cycle.
I feel like we have this thing that we do where like we as a space where like we fall out of love with certain assets. Like ETH was dead until it wasn't. Bitcoin was dead. Bitcoin is like boring, and like Bitcoin was 16K, and people could have sold an ape and bought like 5 Bitcoin. They're like, yeah, but Bitcoin, I don't know about that story there. I think Bitcoin still rips, but I think to your point about the proportional rip, like it's sort of like the amount of market cap momentum that it would need to move to like 250 versus like some of these other assets, like very, very different. And I do think we potentially, and at the same side of my mouth, I'll say there is a world where, man, I hate to say this, but like there is a world where Bitcoin does become just a boomer coin that trades with the market and has less. Like I saw, again, we talked about Easy earlier. I was glazing him a little bit with a quote tweet recently, just a second ago. But like, there is a world where Bitcoin is basically the S&P 500 or maybe a little better, and everything else has more opportunity. Like that could happen. Like that, the S&P 500 I think has done better than Bitcoin in like a month or something, or a couple months. So, and Bitcoin ran really hot before that, but I don't know. Part of me also thinks it's stupid because Bitcoin to $1 million does feel like it's very possible at some point here. So I don't know. Like I go back and forth on this one, but in the short term, I don't know. I'm not selling my Bitcoin. I'll put it that way.
Not to make you feel worse, but you could have bought a lot more than 5 Bitcoin had you timed up the
not like the parabolic top, but we had the at 16, wasn't it like 16K? Wasn't it like 5 what were Bored Ape Yacht Club when Bitcoin?
Do you want the real number?
I do. I would love it. I love this stuff.
I got to go back to get ETH price at that time just so I get an accurate number. But yeah, it's gonna make you sick, man. It's really gonna make you sick.
Actually, you know what's really strange? I think you're the same way as me. I don't get sick over this stuff. Like, I don't know. Like, I like maybe I'm a psycho, but like, I don't tend to look at my losses and second guess myself on this sort of stuff.
Yeah, I don't really either. But so, I mean, I'd have to go back and look at different. Yeah.
So it was 100. April 30th, 2022. Let's just look at Bitcoin on April 30th, 2022. Because we can do really quick, easy math. No, that's not what we want. We want Bitcoin when it was 16K, right? Because that was what I was talking about specifically.
November of 22.
So November of 22, Bitcoin was 16K. The Bored Ape Yacht Club floor in November. This is great podcasting. In
November, 69 ETH, 60 to 70 ETH in November.
Okay, so hold on. So you said in November of 2022, give me an exact date.
Go November 29th of 22.
Okay, so we're going to go on November 29th.
Yeah, it's probably at that point.
2022. How much?
It's probably the most optimal time, though, would have been earlier in the year when apes were closer to all-time high. Bitcoin wasn't at its lowest, but that would have been the time to make the ape to Bitcoin trade. When they ripped up the 130, 140 ETH. ETH was still in April of that year. ETH was still like March, April. So ETH was still like 3,200. And yeah, you could have bought a lot of Bitcoin for.
Guess what though? Not that I have a weird memory for these things because I've done this math before. I just had ChatGPT do the math. Amount of Bitcoin that you could buy for an ape when Bitcoin was 16,000, 5.03. Almost on the nose. Closest without going over. So it was 5. But the big one, to your point, like you could have looked at like when apes were, I'm going to ask what the price of Bitcoin was on April 30th, 2022. So
it was still, it was close to all-time high, but it would have been 6, 7, 8 or 6, 7 Bitcoin for an ape when apes were peaked.
Got it. But yeah, it was 5 almost on the nose. But yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. It is what it is, man. We ride forward and we make it work.
I just saw a post. I know we're bouncing around here. Appreciate everyone bearing with our ADD today. We had on the Spo Banana Society crew on Monday, and we're fans of Good Vibes Club here. I know we got a lot of Good Vibes supporters. They just announced they're going to do every Good Vibes holder gets a free SPS draft. I think that's tomorrow. So if you're holding Good Vibes and you want a free shot, it's a $40, $45 ticket. So it's not nothing.
Yeah. I'm by the way, the optimal time I'm looking, I don't know why I'm still obsessed with this. I'm going to see what 128. So how many Bitcoin in 128 ETH on that day? We're going to find out on the exact top, 128 ETH for Bored Ape Yacht Club. With that current price, you could have gotten 9.54 Bitcoin. That's $1 million, ladies and gentlemen, that we just left on the table if we had made the swap at the perfect timing. Because, we were in the, hey, this could have been our most gains made in the last 20% right there. We could have made more than 80% gains right there. But yeah, man, it's, look, I mean, it's a crazy time in the market. I think just the one thing I'll say, this is kind of like leaving on a more general point here, and then we can kind of anything else we have to hit on and wrap out. I think too many people out in the wild beat themselves up in this space, myself included. I've actually, at some point, I'll probably share how I had a change of perspective on the timeline. I had this weird change of perspective recently after I saw a Naval Ravikant video, and I'm not kidding. We had a friend who was talking about having trouble sleeping recently, Cap.
Is it Bunch you and me?
Yeah, both you guys, right? So it's, but you guys are talking about not sleeping.
Falling asleep, just trouble staying asleep. So I'm starting back on magnesium tonight to hopefully.
So in a weird way, I'll tell you, this is very strange. I had a change of perspective. I'll give a deeper dive on it another time when we have like maybe a good cold open material. I have slept better in the exact same financial and everything situation. I am happier. I have more clarity. I started to dream again. I wasn't dreaming. Like I would wake up and not remember my dreams, at least. I wake up and remember my dreams every single day now.
Usually cannabis.
No, but it doesn't matter. Nothing has changed in that routine whatsoever. And I went from never dreaming to remember my dreams. I have had this really bizarre thing since I had a very small change in perspective, and I'm sure it's different for everyone, but like I flipped the way I was looking at things, and it took a little bit of work, and it felt silly at first. And since it's happened, like I'm happier, I'm sleeping better, I feel better, I'm making better decisions, I have more clarity, I'm sleeping better, and I'm remembering my dreams more. Like I feels like something's opened up in a very small change of perspective. It's very bizarre. In like a very simple technique I put in. This isn't meant to be like woo-woo junk science because I don't think it'll work for everybody, but it worked for me for whatever reason.
He's going to start remote viewing next week on Coffee with Captain.
Dude, the remote viewing thing is very interesting too. That's a whole nother conversation I'd go down at one point because that's a really fun one. But no, I had this weird unlock, and so like anyway, long story short, yeah, like what I was going to say though, since I changed perspective. I see a lot of people who have a perspective who very, very like, I hear people saying sidelined or they're upset or they're not feeling great about where they're at in the market. If you are here, you are early. You do have opportunity. You can get involved, whether it's in DeFi, whether it's in holding things spot. And I just think like, don't lose the perspective of the fact that if this market does what everybody who's listening to this space, everybody who's watching this stream thinks it's going to do, you are still incredibly early. Yes, retail is starting to catch up, but and at least TradFi is starting to catch up. But go to a group of friends and ask them how many people own Bitcoin. Ask them how many people know about ETH. Ask them like even talking to traditional finance people, they're like, "Oh yeah, Bitcoin we get now, but ETH, I don't know about that one." There's just so much opportunity. You are still early. You are still ahead of the game. So just don't beat yourself up too hard if you're in this space and you feel like you're sidelined. Everybody feels that way. It's the same reason that like people house shop on Zillow for houses they can't afford when they live in a perfectly nice house because they're like, damn, I wish I lived in that house. And it's like, a lot of people wish they lived in your house. So just have the perspective that you are in a good spot, like if you are here and you are early, because I think a lot of people beat themselves up or feel sidelined, and I see it a lot. And like, if you own anything in this market and it goes where you think it's going to go, if Bitcoin goes to $1 million and you own 0.2 Bitcoin, it's not a bad payday. So just, feel good about it. Don't beat yourself up, and markets up, markets down. There's always a play.
Yeah. And you can do so with little risk, little capital. It's going to take you a little longer, but there's near endless opportunities here. You just got to be active. And when you win your bag, don't bankroll management is key, as it is in most investing, in most games of skill. Don't shove all your chips in on a single play like I'm about to do Friday.
Yeah, don't like do as Cap says, not as he does, because Cap makes some wacky moves. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But that's also risk tolerance and personality. You and I don't eat losses as hard as a lot of other people. We don't eat failures as hard as a lot of other people. I used to. Like, you talk about your dial until 100 no's when you're in college, man. It's like not everybody eats those losses really well and thinks about recovering. It's funny. I saw when Min made, like, he put like 500K on an ETH long and then cashed it out, or whatever he did. He threw some massive ETH long on Hyperliquid and then cashed it. And I saw a couple people behind the scenes who are like, "Oh man, look at this kid out, getting the trading. Like, must be nice. Like, how does that make you feel?" I'm like, it makes me feel great, because if I was younger and had less of a stack of chips to protect, I'd be putting money, because you can always make more money down the line. But he's making plays, and I feel great about it. And it's like, some people can do that. Some people can eat those. Like, I have a level of what I'm willing to eat and my risk tolerance, and I make plays accordingly. So, you know, run your own race. That said, Cap, any other parting thoughts before we let everyone get out of here?
Good day. Got that wrecked base collab at noon today. And there was something else, but I think, I mean, it's really, we're just in a holding pattern until Friday. Like it, love it, hate it. It is what it is. And I think I would be shocked if anything other than pretty much chop between now and then. And then it's going to be violent, I think, is what I think this week is shaping up to be, one way or the other. Yeah, exactly. It's going to be violent one way or the other. That's a good way to put it. We don't know exactly how violent it's going to be and where, but it is going to be violent one way or the other. And we'll ride. Well, and guess what? We're going to wake up and be here regardless, no matter what it does. So, you know, join us on Coffee with Captain, and we will either laugh together or cry together, one way or the other. Fun meeting this afternoon in my personal, some ventures I've been exploring. So we'll see how that goes. I may have an update tomorrow, but meeting with a couple of owners here locally about a retail business that I need some help with. So we'll see. Excited for you, man. I'm excited to see what happens in that adventure. I was looking at potentially buying a gym. That did not happen. Went down, but that's okay. I think it was probably best. And at one point recently for a local venture, and you know, we'll make it work. I'm just gonna keep living my life here and in DeFi land and crypto land and moving forward. So that's it. Let's send everybody off in their day. Good luck on your meeting later today. Excited for you. I am going to be in 2 hours. I will be sitting in a float tank. So cool. I'm excited to hear what do you think of that?
I'll report back. I'm going to be sitting in a float tank.
Is it an hour? 1 hour?
Yeah, I did the full hour. You could do like the half-hour teaser or whatever, but I
would probably start with a half hour. An hour, something like that. It's like, whew, I don't know. My makes me like anxious just thinking about.
The thing is, like, if I'm in there for a half hour and I decide, or whatever period of time, and I'm like, I'm freaking out, I got to stop and get out of this, you can just open the tank. Like, I'm not stuck in it. So at least for me, I'm like, I'll try the full experience. Maybe I'll get a lot of it out of it. Maybe I won't, but excited to give it a try. So yeah, Cap.
Enjoy.
Right on. All right, let's rock and roll. Thanks everyone who came through this morning. We will talk to everybody bright and early tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern time. Have a wonderful day, everybody.
Thanks for tuning into Coffee with Captain, powered by ApeCoin. We hope you enjoyed the show, and remember, nothing we discussed today is financial advice. Until next time, keep exploring, stay curious, and we'll see you soon. Have a great day.
Welcome to the future.
Sometimes